Hello everyone, my name is Enoch and this is the continuation of MA110 redefining and sketching of modulus function from where we ended in part 1 of this video. So this is part 2. So like I said, so when you reach at this level, you have to draw a number line in that way and you indicate the values. So any values falling this side, that is less than 1/3, so you're going to indicate x less than 1/3, and then this same 1/3 is also less than x less than what, 3/2, and then any value falling this side going this side is greater than what, x, so x greater than 3/2. Now what you're going to do is that you're going to compare each inequality with the one that you have calculated in the question. So that is x less than -1/3. So if this x less than -1/3 is also there on the thing that you have solved, it means that you're going to write it the way it is in the table. So there, when you check, you are having x less than 1/3, so meaning we are not going to make any change. You're going to write the way it is in the table. So you write like that, and then there you are having x greater than -3/1/3. So if this value is corresponding with the one you have solved it there, it means that you're not going to make any change. But if you see the one that you have solved, you are having x greater than or equal to, there is an equal to symbol there, and then the one on the number line, there is just what, less than. So what you're going to do is that you're going to make a change where you're going to include equal to symbol, so that this inequality corresponds to that one. So that is the reason to why I included that inequality. And then you come here to this part, that is x less than 3/2. So we're going to compare if this value is corresponding with the one that you have calculated there. It means that you're going to write the way it is. So that is x less than 3/2, and then there the one that you have calculated, you're having x less than 2. It means that you're not going to make any change, just write it the way it is. And then from there on the number line, you're having x greater than 3/2. So if this value on the number line is equal to the one that you have solved there, it means that you're going to write it the way it is without making any change. Now if you look clearly, there on the number line you are having x greater than 3/2, and then the one that you have calculated is x greater than or equal to 3/2. So since they are not corresponding, so we're going to make a change on this one on the number line, where you're going to include an equal to symbol like that one. Now from there we're going to follow each modulus. So 3 plus 1, so we're going to go on the inequality 3 plus 1 there. So where it is, which equation is x less than 1/3, x less than 1/3. We're going to say that see that equation, so you're going to write it. So you're going to write it the way it is. So that is -3 x minus 1, and then from there you're going to say x greater than or equal to 1/3, and then you're going to ask yourself, from the one that you have calculated or redefined, you're going to compare which equation having x greater than -1/3 is this one. So you're going to write 3x plus 1, so that is 3x plus 1, and then from there you're going to compare x greater than 3/2. So x greater than 3/2. Now if you see clearly, you find out to say that here on the modulus of 3x plus 1, you are not having 3 over 2, but rather than you are having negative 1 over 3. So that is greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So you are going to ask yourself which inequality is greater than or equal to. That is the one that is greater than or equal to, see, 3x plus 1. So that is 3x plus what? 1. So from there you proceed to the second modulus, that is 2x minus 3. So 2x minus 3, see, that one. So that is you are having the first inequality, that is x less than negative 1 over 3. Now on that one that you have calculated, you are not having negative 1 over 3, but this symbol is less than. So you are going to check which equation is having less than. So it's this one. So you are going to get that equation, which is negative 2x plus 3. Coming to this side, you are going to check on that one, that is x less than 3 over 2. So the equation having x less than 3 over 2 is that one, which is negative 2x plus what? 3. And then from there you are having x greater than or equal to 3 over 2. So the equation having that is 2x minus 3. So 2x minus 3. So from there, what you are going to do is that you are going to add this value with that value to find the value for function of that one, because on the original question there you are having the modulus of that should be added to that one. So the expression that you have calculated for 3x plus 1 should be added with the expression that you have calculated for 2x minus 3. So the expression or the inequality that you have calculated is this one. So it means that you're going to add, so that is that of x is equals to negative 3x minus 1, which should be added to that one. So it's column by column plus 3. So if you add, so that times that is negative what? Negative 2. So negative 2x minus 3x, you're going to get negative 5x, and then positive times that. So it's negative what? Negative 1 plus 3, which is what? Positive 2, which is positive 2. So that simply means that you're going to write negative 5x plus 2. So from there you also add that column, those two, that is h of x is equals to 3x plus 1 plus negative 2x plus 3x. So when you simplify these things, you are going to get x plus 4. So you write x plus what? 4 there. And then when you also find h of x is equals to 3x plus 1 plus 2x minus 3. So when you simplify those expressions, you're going to get 5x minus 2. So we're going to write 5x minus 2. So from there what you're going to do, is that you're going to write h of x is equals to, the final answer for redefining should be, so it's more like a comparison. So this value that we have calculated there should be corresponded to that one. So that simply means you're going to write negative 5x plus 2 if x is less than negative 1 over what? 3. The second one, you have calculated h of x to be x plus 4 if negative 1 over 3 is less than or equal to x less than 3 over 2. And then last one you have calculated to be 5x minus 2 if x is greater than what? 3 over 2. So it means that writing like this one, so if the question was saying redefine, so you have to end here. Now the question went further to say you have to sketch. So one thing that you should know under sketching is that you're going to let this one, so that h of x is equals to y, so that is y is equals to negative 5x plus what? 2. So from there you have to draw a table because this is a linear equation. So from there what you're going to do is that you're going to be getting each value, you replace it there. So that is x less than 1 over 3. So meaning all the values you're going to write values that are less than negative 1 over 3. So these are the values. So from there what you're going to do is that you're going to be solving for what? For y, where you're going to get each value, you replace it where there is x. So if you replace negative 1 over 3, you're going to obtain 11 over what? 3. And then from there when you replace that into that, you're going to get positive 7, and then from there you're going to get 12 there, that is 17. You come to this part, so you also equate that one to y, and then just replace the value of each value of x in that equation. So you're going to obtain 1 over 3, then that is 4, 5, 11 over 2. You also come to this one. So now to the second one, what you should bear in mind is that you have been restricted. You have to start from negative 1 over 3 and end to 3 over 2. No wonder I started with that, ending with that. And then the last one, any value that are greater than 3 over 2. So you are going to replace them like that, and then you solve for y by replacing each value of x where there is x. So when you replace, you're going to obtain 11 over 2, then that is 8, that is 13, then that is 18. And then from there, since you have the coordinate or the coordinate, then you can draw. So we are going to start plotting that one. So we are having that is negative 3 over negative 1 over 3 comma 11 to 11 over 3. So one thing that you should bear in mind is that that point, if you see clearly here, this sign, it means that this coordinate is not included. So that is negative 1 over 3, negative 1 over 3 comma what? Comma 11 over 3. So what you're going to do is that since it is not included, you draw an open circle like that, since it is not included. And then from there you're having negative 1 comma what? Comma 7. Negative 1 comma 7 is this side, so you plot negative 1 comma 7. And then from there you're also having negative 2 comma 12. So negative 2 comma 4, there you plot. You're also having what? You're also having negative 3 comma 17, negative 3 comma 17, supposed to be somewhere here. So one thing that you should bear in mind is that since you are not restricted there on finding the values of x, they just said x less than all the values that are less than 1 over 3. So what you're going to do is that you're going to put an arrow showing that you can just continue, the graph can continue, because someone can end on negative 6, there is no arm. So from there you connect to the points. Connect, so it means that you have sketched that one, and then from there you're having negative 3 over 1 to 11 over 3. Now in this case, this one is what? Included, it is included. So what you're going to do is that you're going to shade here, you're going to shade, you shade this point, you shade, draw a shaded what? A shaded point. Now from there what you are going to do is that you are having 0, 4. 0, 4 is supposed to be here, and then 1, 5 is supposed to be that side, and then 3 over 2 comma what? 11 over 2. 11 over 2 supposed to be there, and then you are also having 11 over 2. So from there you have to connect, from there you connect from that side, also that side. So there you're not going to put a symbol because the points were what? Restricted. You start from there, you end from there. So from there what you're going to do is to plot the last one, 3 over 2 whatever. So these ones are what? Included. So it's just an open, a closed circle like that one. And then 2, 8, 2, 8, see there, 2, 8, and then you're having 3, 4, 3, 13, I mean, that side, and then 4, 18, and then those, they are not what? Restricted, so you put the arrow there, and then you just connect. So it means that you have redefined and sketched the graph. So please don't forget to like this video, also subscribe, so that whenever I post the new video you are able to watch. See you in the next video.